TriPod
Nice.
baby.
That was nice and synchro,
Wow, look at that, huh? Okay, what's up, TriPod? My name's Ryan.
baby. Yes, he did it. My name is Jaron.
My name is Powys.
And my name is Paar.
See, that's why I had to remember this time, is because we have someone else to introduce.
Oh,
Right? I can't just let this newcomer sit on the pod unintroduced for 5 minutes while we forget.
he's kind of in the background for some pods.
That's
you
true,
know?
that's true.
He was with us, just maybe not on screen. You know,
lurking.
giving us some prompts.
Yeah.
Giving us
He's been in every one of these in the room or in the call for every one of these for us, right? It's just no one else has seen him or heard him.
True.
Now we've pulled back the curtain and revealed to you the man who put this all together. Really,
The
Pretty much, yeah.
The man behind the curtain.
And behind the greenest curtain. Party, welcome to the pod, man. It's great to have you on screen.
No, thank you guys. It's awesome to be here. Just seeing, you guys do that opening, I was like, wow, it is that hard. It is that hard to do the opening in the beginning of the show, but we got it.
It's tough. It's tough.
It's tough.
Okay, well, I mean, for anybody wondering why we do have our wonderful producer, director, captain, guest on the show, TriHards, baby, episode 1.
episode.
It's out
1.
right now.
TriHards.
It's out there.
Yeah.
Posterized, baby.
Oh, name
Posterized.
drop!
Name drop. Well, I mean, the episode's out. So.
Posterized!
That came out yesterday, right, guys?
Yes.
Right,
Yeah,
yes.
Yesterday. Yes.
It is out there, and consume it, please.
Yes.
That's
Consume
crazy,
it,
man.
share it, like it, comment on it. We're those kind of guys now, right? We need you to do this shit.
Yes. We garner support for the piece of art that we all worked so hard to create and cultivate.
It's true.
And it's a blessing that we got to complete as much as we did, and hopefully you guys enjoy watching it as much as we enjoyed making it, writing it, and all that jazz.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good time.
100%.
Good app.
100%.
So are we free to talk about the app, or are we doing that, or
what you remember of it. I mean, when was the last time you guys saw it all the way through?
like,
Yeah,
like
that's
actually-
true. That's true.
That's the
I
big
mean,
thing.
we can like
You can spoil
we can,
it. At this
yeah,
point,
we can
it's out, so.
we can spoiler warning if you haven't watched
Should
the
we,
episode
though?
yet.
I don't know
Pause
if we
this.
Should
Pause
we,
this.
though?
Go watch it. Come back because
Maybe-
now we're going to talk
Maybe
about
we
it.
could give a synopsis.
Maybe we should give it like a week.
I think a synopsis has got to be the worst approach. We like boringly describe everything that happens.
No,
in
okay,
the
not a
episode.
synopsis. Sorry, like just what the episode's about, without giving away too
penopsis.
much.
I guess. Sure. Yeah. All right.
I mean, because we have a lot of loyal pod listeners who might not have gotten around to watching the video yet, and then
true.
they crack it on Monday and say, I'm spoiler sensitive, guys.
Okay, all right. You're making a fair argument here.
Come
All right,
on!
we won't spoil the epi.
But we can tease it. We can tease. The
can
name
tease.
teases
All
it a
right,
bit,
all right.
right? Posterized. Maybe it has
Yeah.
something to do with posters. Maybe there's
Does
a
it?
little bit of animosity in deciding which poster is the best.
No!
We'll leave the
Boy.
rest to their imaginations,
Boop, boop. So,
Yeah, I guess
Cool
the
stuff.
the idea was born from Pars suggesting that we come up with ways to kind of like decorate the walls to make it just like pop
Yeah,
a little bit on
for the
screen.
set.
And then I was like, "Yo, wait, what would we put on the wall as characters?" And I was like, "Oh, wait."
Well, it's just the next
Oh.
step up, right? Like we were shooting with pretty low budget, like it's all been tight. So the big the costume in the set has been the entire show. The costumes were almost set pieces. It was like they were
Right.
focal points of episodes, right? Like with
Right,
no fab
right.
trap, like the onesie hoodie thing. Like
Okay, easy.
What's in the tray?
it's
in
the
the
opening
trailer.
shot of the trailer. that
You
came out
literally
2
say,
weeks
Yeah.
ago. You
That's
call it
full-
the
full
November
spoiled,
Rabbits,
yeah.
yeah.
It's not a spoiler.
Sup, boys? Let's just reenact it. Let's just act out the trailer. My name's Ryan. I'm 27. Bi-curious. I love Steam.
I don't think that was the line.
No?
That's
That
power
could be
phrasing.
season 2 arc. I get a
Power
boyfriend.
phrasing.
Power phrasing.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? TriHards has been an absolute spice rack.
Yeah.
And the next episode's coming out in 2 weeks. Is that correct or no?
No, we're doing episodes weekly, so
Yeah, every
Oh, we're
week.
doing weekly.
they're gonna be weekly.
Oh
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah,
son!
yeah. It was something that, like, when we were talking about what the release schedule was going to be like, it's like, first off, they're between 3 and like 8 minutes, and I didn't feel like we needed 2 weeks away from people.
Yeah.
Like, the podcast is going to be weekly. We're continuing this like for as long as we want to keep it going, and so with the show, it was like, all right, why why drag it out? People are going to be into it. It's going to be strike while the iron's hot was kind of my mentality. We don't want to be down people's throats all the time. Like, I know I burn out on self-promotion all the time. Like,
I'm already getting close.
Sort of, yeah. It's difficult, man. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
And plus, like when we're out of it, we can focus on making the new stuff.
Yeah.
Start writing, baby. Yeah. I'm starting to like get the creative juices flowing a little bit now.
Yeah.
And I was saying pre-pod that I'm probably taking a little hiatus from work for a minute. So
crazy.
Focus on some creativity.
Perfect time.
Dabble back in that a little bit.
What a concept.
Just gonna try and get back into kind of my my quarantine flow, I guess you could say. I was in a pretty good place. I was like, had a pretty good relationship with social media and like my phone, all that kind of stuff. I was going for like 4-hour walks, no phone, just leaving the phone at home.
Flex.
Whew.
It's pretty good.
Whew, was feeling good, and now I'm like first thing in the morning, check my phone.
Yep.
Phone's in my
You
bed.
getting that TriHards love or what? Who's slid into the DMs today?
Oh my god, it's brutal.
Yo, Pow got absolutely venomized by the TriHards ego monster, bro.
Oh
I
my
had
god.
to exercise. I came home. I was like, Jaar, I'm ready to dedicate my whole life to TriHards, bro. They would quit my job tomorrow, dude. Yo, coaching this team? Nah, I don't even care, bro. Who are these girls I coach? Does it even matter? It has nothing to do with TikTok. Like, I was ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And the baby was everything not last name Hards, first name Try.
Oh man, as Pow was saying this stuff too, I was listening to him. I was like, this doesn't sound like Pow. And like, he came around the next day and was just like, yo, what was up with that?
Holy watered myself.
Yeah, basically.
Just like, bruh. Honestly, if we're gonna just kick it real, I hope my boss doesn't listen to this, but Pow's been pushed to his...
It's never something you want to hear.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's
Pow's been pushed to his limits, working 5 days a week, man. In the movies, like, I thought I was kind of finding my stride, working like 4 days a week, even the occasional 3-day week, a rare 5-day week.
Bougie.
Very bougie. And what I was doing, for longtime pod listeners, you might know I've had something of a job transformation in the last few months. And I'm part of a smaller department now. And basically that means there's more responsibility. And you know, for example, if one of us goes down, then there's not really a choice to cover for that person is one aspect of it. So, like, you're more important, which is cool, but then you're also less replaceable, which isn't ideal when you want to have a good work-life balance. And, man, 5 days, even though I've been working shorter shifts and not the classic, long PA days, 15 hours and blah, 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 blah. Just having not the whole day to make beans and clean, and, you know.
Kid can't fart.
I need my beans.
Kid can't fart.
Yo, if
It's
I'm not
bad.
farting on command, my life is unhinged. Like, we can laugh about it all we want, but, like, I go to work with an absolute Tupperware bucket of beans covered in lemon juice, salt, pepper, olive oil, red wine vinegar, maybe a couple strings of lettuce in there, to the point that people I work with are like, bro, easy on the beans, you're going to be farting up a NATO. And I'll be like, yo, don't worry, my farts are whispers in the wind, you can barely taste them.
Okay. Ryan and Par, were you guys there that time where Pow had he was just started to dabble in eating beans a lot? He had a bowl of beans, just straight beans, loaded with sriracha, loaded with ranch, and just starts going to town.
Yeah, I remember this. I remember
familiar.
this fondly.
Origin, dude.
It was an origin story for Pow, 100%.
For sure. Yeah, they're just ranch and beans.
Yeah.
I witnessed Powys take a Eggo waffle and squirt ranch on it, fold it in half like a taco, and then eat it.
Fucking Taco Bell has entered the chat.
I was really into a website back then called thisiswhyyourfat.com where people would make, I'm not even lying, where people would make, it was a blog where people would make obscene stuff, like before America was like, oh, we're just gonna do this and make we're just gonna make a restaurant where we serve a 4-patty burger called the quadruple bypass burger.
Oh yeah.
And if you weigh over 360 pounds, you eat for free. Before that restaurant was a real thing, it was like it gave birth to a few like memes, like the donut being buns for the like Whopper. Or,
That's
like,
a real thing.
right, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was,
right.
I don't know if
I think it was like
started
Dunk-
on this food blog that I was on, bro. Burger King ripped it off.
It was Dunkin' Donuts, I think.
Yeah, but either way, it was like deep fried cookies were like the bun of a two pizzas were like the freaking, you know, like Joey Chestnut would have busted a chestnut if but yeah,
Jaws,
dude,
baby.
I need to keep my food game dialed, keep my outdoor game dialed. I love working the movies.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're working inside for a long period of time. I hate that I sound so ungrateful right now.
No, dude. That's like that's so much of film, right? Like, is work-life balance. Like, I find what I've been doing now is just trying to like even just turn my workload into like seasons of working, where it's like instead of being like, oh, I'm gonna have these days off, it's like, okay, I'm gonna work or do a certain schedule for a couple of months, and then maybe I'll try to take like a month off, and even that's like new ground. Like the first break there has been in over winter, right? Where it was like we weren't shooting anything, even editing like slowed down a little bit, but now we're up and running again, and it's like, okay, well. And then you throw like a relationship onto this too, and I'm sure Ryan can chime in there, where it's just like, okay, you're balancing work, you're balancing like, you know, your interests and hobbies, and then you're balancing like trying to make sure your partner doesn't leave you.
Don't leave me, don't leave me.
I know I was at work for 10 hours or 12 hours today, and then I get home and it's just like I have to edit, like leave the room. Like, you know, there's a lot to it. So it's a fucking constant struggle. I don't think that you're gonna find something that works in a day, right? You're gonna readjust constantly, especially as you get older and you're not able to fucking stay up as late anymore. Just like my body just doesn't do what it used to do when I was 22, where we could go out and drink until 3 a.m. and then wake up and then go do it again the next day. And I'm like, my hangovers last days now. They last days now. Like,
oh, that's rough.
Yeah,
I'm 22, bro. I don't know about you, dog. Like,
dude, I'm on the wrong side of 25.
what's up, guys?
I started getting 2-day hangovers when I was like 19.
Yeah. I believe that though. Like what you were drinking. That's like when we were drinking 2 liters of growers through a beer bong and like, yeah, we're awesome. And idiots.
Yeah.
Grower's still legit.
Yeah, we drank that because of you, I'm sure.
They called me the Mr. 350. Cost me $3.50 to get over the line, Michael. Half a 40 of a wee or half a bottle of growers.
Half a
and
Growers,
the kid was singing and dancing.
Not a 2-liter of growers will put you down. I don't care who you are. A 2-liter of growers will put anybody down.
In a bad way, though.
Yeah. Not in a good way.
No.
You wake up with the worst hangover, like the
definitely.
head throbbing hangovers.
Yeah.
I was pretty lucky that like my hangovers were usually like just shitty stomach feeling. The head pounding ones were rare.
Yeah.
But I got the shitty feeling in the stomach ones all the time.
I'm sorry to railroad this topic, but in the name of yin yangery, yin yangery rather, I need to say my show is legit that I work for. All my homies are still working right now, and my boss let me leave early.
Let me keep my job.
My freaking soccer team, and also I take advantage of that time to record this pod. And yeah, it's super privileged job handing out food and being surrounded by every type of food I could possibly imagine, and most of all, getting to interact with amazing people. I love the people I work with. We're all super tight, or most of the people I work with, I'm super tight with them. I had like 2 enemies on the show, and then as soon as I started handing them out food, I had 0. And
Grown man has enemies.
2 enemies on the show, but I love my job. I love my family.
My nemesis.
bro, strong brand means you get enemies. Simple as that. And yeah, basically, I was like kind of not at my best, and a few people came up to me. They're like, "Pow, you good? Like, what's going on, man? You want to talk it out, brother?" And I don't like to even admit when I'm not feeling great, because then it makes it more real, you know.
Yeah.
But you got to do a little bit, you know, not 0, you know.
Right.
So shout outs to my homies. You guys know who you are. I love you lots. Thanks for giving me all the support and love. And yes, life's good.
That's cool.
Right?
Yeah,
Now,
see,
let's fixate on these enemies though. Like life is.
Yeah. I mean, I also want to go deeper on this
life
one.
is pro wrestling, so you do need a good nemesis.
Well, how do you garner an enemy as an adult? I can't say I've had an enemy in a very long time.
Okay, well, I'm on the same show I was on last season.
Okay.
And last season, as well as a big chunk of this season, I was the sustainability production assistant. And part of that meant my job was to try to, limit the waste of the production. And sometimes that would mean limiting the amount of cups that people use. So we would be at 0 cups. Like the show I was green PAing on before, I was really trying to be like, yo, can we have a cupless day? That'd be sick. I walk into my new show, Charmed, or the show I was on, Charmed, and it was like their first day of no cups. I was like, oh, all this dirty work's done for me, sick. Then someone's reaching on the table like, where's the cups? They're just like, yo, you represent something. You represent change. You represent the union. You aren't in the union agreement. You can't tell me what to do. You haven't been in film. You haven't broken up with anybody for this job. You haven't done the time with the right guy's daughter to frickin' do this shit. Don't tell me how many cups I can use, you prick. And I'd
he
be like,
crumbled
bro, one
one
cup.
up and threw it.
Oh,
I wouldn't be surprised at all,
man.
man. I would not be surprised at all.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought people are dramatic in the film industry?
Oh, buddy.
Oh, bro. one
Spice,
of the things my first one of the guys I worked with is my boss on the previous show I worked on. He said like a lot of times the shit that you see on screen pales in comparison to the shit that happens behind the camera. Yeah. Just like any job where a union's involved, I've learned that there is drama. Unnecessary drama, and people fucking thrive on it. They love to gossip.
Right.
Word travels so quickly. I don't know what it is, but it's just, can you believe what this guy did? And he's trying to skirt this rule of the union, and this guy did this, and he did this, and even though that's my job, and it's like, all right, chill.
And it would literally be like, yo, no cups? Well, guess what? In the union, you have to provide us cups. So then some of the bosses went to the union and said, like, yo, this language is kind of getting interpreted in, like, a not so, like, green way. What do you guys think about kind of, like, reneging that? Or, like, and they're like, okay, we'll try to, like, negotiate and clean that up next time around.
Oh, dude, it's rough, too. I've had people go like, hey, okay, don't look the PAs in the eyes and don't move garbage cans. That's not your job. I don't want to get shit because you moved the garbage can, okay? Fucking don't look them in the eyes and walk back to the truck. And I was like, shit, this is a Hallmark movie. This is a lot more serious than I thought it was going to be.
Reminds me how great it is to be on the show I'm on, man, where these people... It's not quite like a commercial... Because on commercials, it's just like, yo, you're on the team. Like, yo, PA, help me with this camera real quick. Like, we're trying to get this done, bro.
Just high as shit, too.
Pretty much. Like, 5-day shoot, sometimes 2-week shoot. Versus, like, in film or television, it's, PAs don't touch anything that ends up on screen, or else you're taking job away from set tech or whoever the heck. And, like, listen, these rules were built for a reason and all that. But, everything has... the exceptions make the rule,
That's so intricate, man. I had no idea. I had no idea it was so complicated. All right, so what's the good job then? Like, what's the perfect job do you guys want to take when you're looking for work out here?
Jaar?
So I thought about it. The reason why I went into locations and working as a PA is because you kind of work with all the departments. You kind of get to see what everyone does. Looking at what everyone does, aside from being on like the camera team or like set deck is kind of chill because you just put shit on set and you make it look cool. But it seems like pretty chill, but I don't know. I feel like my skill set is actually pretty suited to work in locations.
Wow.
Cool.
Having like a background in customer service. And
What does that mean though? What's locations?
Locations is like you're kind of like the legwork. Setting up garbages, setting up tables.
You do have amazing legs, so
basically like
Tents.
Setting up tents so that if it's raining,
Gotcha.
you're putting stuff over the camera and the audio gear.
it's like grunt work stuff.
Grunt work.
Yeah.
And then like when we're actually shooting, you're kind of like sometimes you're glorified security. If you're new on the show, it's like, okay, watch this generator because we don't know if you're going to be able to take a more responsibility. Sometimes it's like, okay, this is the edge of frame. Make sure no pedestrians walk into our shot.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Calling rolls and cuts so that people aren't on the radio know when we're rolling, not to make noise and not to fuck around.
Yeah.
So you do a lot of grunt work. You don't get a lot of like glory necessarily. But also we're kind of like the hall monitor or like the librarian where we're telling people like, shh, be quiet. We're rolling. Or like, oh, you can't go in there because the director said that we can't do this. And like trying to tell a guy who's been working in film for 30 years, this like 20 something, trying to tell him what to do. They're yelling at you.
I'm not going to wear a mask. You can't make me wear a mask.
The amount of people I've heard on the production I'm on say the word plandemic is incredible. But I mean, the thing that I like about the department is the same reason why I kind of took working in like a returns department as a challenge was I like to take someone who's angry or pissed off about something and try and turn it around. I had to learn, first of all, not to take the stuff personally. When I worked in a returns department at IKEA, and the amount of angry people that I used to get every day, like yelling at me about some shit that broke. Right. Like, yeah, my table that's made of fucking graham crackers and cardboard fucking broke on me. And I was like, that's what you get for spending $9 on a table.
Right.
But like, they're yelling at you. They're like, oh yeah, this kitchen that I ordered is missing a whole fucking cabinet. And I was like, oh, I didn't do that. I'm just passing it to you. Right. But at first,
what do you want me to do about it?
I took it so personally in the beginning. I was just like getting yelled at by all these people. My manager's eating so much crap all the time. But I was like, you know what? This is more to do with the company. I'm just the representative.
Right.
And so I would just take it as a challenge. Like, yo, I'll do what I can. Try and come from a place of understanding. Like, yeah, this person's frustrated that this thing didn't work or whatever. Mm-hmm. And just try to be a liaison.
Just deflect them, man. Just
I mean,
them.
Sometimes
they walk in there, they're like, yo, my kitchen's missing a cabinet. You're like, I don't even know where you live.
See, the funny thing
why
is...
would I have anything to do with this?
The people at the call center used to say, like, just go into the store and they can do it for you. To get them off of the phone.
Yeah, nice.
Like, those motherfuckers, they're on the other side of the country.
That's a play.
We can't do anything about it. And then if I say, like, oh, actually, you know what? That's actually the call center's jurisdiction, if you want to, or whatever.
Right.
Like, then I'm just that asshole who's passing them on and making them do loops, right?
Yeah.
Joik.
So
you like working locations?
I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm also very fortunate to work with a really good team.
Yeah.
Most of the crew's pretty competent.
Yeah.
I've worked on a couple productions where I'm like, I didn't know you could fuck up this job.
Right.
Like, I thought that you just needed to have common sense to do it. And turns out that a lot of people don't have common sense.
Right.
You know, I did a day call on a show where a girl literally sat in her car for so long in the day, not doing it. Like, she went for a break and didn't come back for like 6 hours. And was in there for so long that the battery of her car died and had to get jumped by the boss. And I was like, yo, safe to say she didn't come back.
Brian, ask me.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of it's common sense. A lot of it, like, I try to use my people skills. You know, you kind of eat it has pros and cons. Like, you get to see a lot of cool spots. I've gotten to see a lot of locations in Vancouver that growing up here I've never been to.
True.
Right.
I've grown up here, lived here my whole life, never been to like a lot of areas of North Van.
Right.
Or like these super cool areas
Manatee
like
Bay, maybe.
That's the one near Squamish. Beautiful spot on a nice sunny day. Like, I've driven past it plenty of times, never seen it.
Nice.
You know, other side of the coin is you stand in pouring rain for 2 straight days. Yeah. And all of a sudden, all that, like, that'll test your positivity. That'll test your resolve. Like, why am I doing this again? Come home, like, hold on, why am I doing this? And then a sunny day comes, I'm like, okay, I remember now.
Yeah. True that.
You know?
Yeah. So what about you, pal?
Wow.
What you have anything that you could share your perspective? Or
Thanks for asking.
Just thought I'd toss one over to you there.
Appreciate it. Honestly, man, I think the ideal department I'd work in is fucking craft service, bro. The one I'm in.
Wow.
Like, not as like a throw-over flex, but I've had a few offers to work in other departments. I was in locations for 5 years. I still am. I still will PA again, for sure. It can be a good time. I'm not going to PA to take a 4-day week to 5. That's for damn sure. I did that a few weeks ago and was like, paycheck's nice, but when am I going to spend this money? But yeah, it was, I can see that having my nice long life career path. At the end of the day, working in film, I love working crafty. I like to give people food and be responsible for them getting food. And, yeah, that's really sweet and wholesome. And I like being kind of, you know, in that bougie position. When you're out in the rain, there's probably outside of the drivers, like 10 people that stay dry, and I'm one of them, and that's super
Nice.
privileged, and it's really awesome.
You're winning me over on that one, man. Jaron lost me a little bit with the standing in the rain for 12 hours. Powys winning me back over here with the not standing in the rain.
Because people are like, yo, dude, do set deck. You just have to do your test, and then you can get in, get your days, blah, 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 blah. And then someone was like, yo, do your crafty. All you have to do is do your first aid level 3. And I was like, yeah, I'm down to do my first aid. Hell yeah, save some lives. Dude, someone gets decapitated. I'm a OFA 3. I will put a tourniquet on your neck, put your head in saline solution, and they'll reattach it at the hospital, baby. Let me tell you in good hands with me, baby. I will make sure your life gets saved. I will. Okay, but eventually I wanna own my own business for sure. That's the way to really like get it going and
nice.
To make.
And you like contract onto sets or?
As a craft service like Key, you can own your own business and incorporate. It's
Sure.
kind of like intrapreneurship for the uninitiated. That's entrepreneurship, but within a company. But
Is that an actual thing, or is that
yes, it
Powys?
is.
No, I think
real.
it's real.
That's
Nice.
businessies, dog.
No, it's just nice for me to hear a word from Powys that I haven't heard before. That's a real word.
How about this one? Supercilious, and that is a real word that means confident to an arrogant stink mouth degree. Supercilious
Nice.
is a real word. Thank you, the picture of Dorian Gray, for that one. But yeah, I want to have my own business. We'll see what that looks like. Someone was telling me today, Powys, you could do like fucking professional team building and like help.
That's a thing.
Like I'm showing people the music video that The Wave made. Check out U17 Wave. The Wave. We made a song and a music video. It's pretty gangster. I don't know. Bunch of freaking young girls who might not be the most confident people on planet Earth really loved it and have been watching it a bunch, so it might be that sick. But yeah, it's pretty sick. I haven't watched it 100 times, probably $120 at this point. But yeah, it was a really good team building exercise, so maybe I'll look into doing that as a career. If
That's
I
cool.
can try to swing it, but
As a side hustle, when you're not dedicating your life to TriHards,
Well,
you
100%.
already made a commitment
This is
once
right.
this episode. So
Sign of blood.
Well, okay, Ryan, what's your gig in the film industry then?
Wow.
You're joining us, right? Like, what's your ideal gig?
fucking, I don't know. I don't know what the jobs are called.
Actor, probably.
Yeah, I mean that seems pretty good. That's a lot of work though. Like I got to do a lot of stuff for that. That's pretty fun though, because then you're in the thing at the end. So yeah, I'd probably go with that.
Yeah.
Writing's pretty fun too.
What do you think? Yeah, writing would be going for Rye. What else for Rye? What do you
For
think?
Rye?
On set.
Fluffer.
Fluffer, I could see you being...
Sound guy, dude. All the
sound guy?
musicians become sound mixers. And
That's
stuff.
true. That's true.
And
I could
then
be
all
the
your-
I could be the guy holding the boom mic, and I would just never wear a shirt. That'd be pretty cool. Even in the rain, I'd stand 12 hours in the rain with the boom mic over my head the whole time, shirtless. So just
Boom is a job.
vibrating shoulders.
Boom is a vibrational job.
Bring that ass back like a boom, 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 boom.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes without saying, I definitely want to be working towards being more involved in the making of stuff.
Right.
Writing, acting, etc. I'm using this more as a stepping stone, kind of pay my dues. And that's why those rainy days, it's kind of like a little bit masochistic, where I'm just like, fucking, yeah, this is like, I'm eating shit a little bit so that it'll give me some humility later.
There is some like twisted pride in that.
Yeah, it's weird, where I'm like, yeah, I spent days in the rain, you know?
I was eating shit.
I hauled muddy plywood through someone's apartment up a ladder onto a roof for, you know, just like shit like that. Where
That's not even an exaggerated story. That's straight fact.
yeah, I came home, my mask was covered in mud. It was, that was a day. That was a day where, like, I almost didn't bring my rain pants. I've learned always bring your rain pants even when it's sunny.
By choice?
Rain pants.
I almost
Good
didn't
call.
bring them by choice because I didn't have room for my food on this day in my bag. And then it was, oh my goodness. I thought I was going to be working my cushy day, and it was just, thank goodness I had them, because that would have been rough.
Yeah, I bet,
yeah,
man.
yeah. So
Were we
shit.
talking about something?
Did anybody watch Reboot?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Didn't they do a reboot recently?
They were
Did
going
they?
to, but did it? I don't think it-
There was talk of it. I don't think they ever actually did it.
No, I think they made one where it was like live action people, like kids,
Oh.
and then they go into the game. I might be tripping, but I feel like we're probably just off the beat. Like, we probably just haven't kept up. Like, they've definitely reboot a bunch.
Every
Ears
time I
into the
think
ground.
of reboot was Beast Wars, dude.
Beast Wars was number one.
Reboot and Beast Wars went hand in hand on YTV.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If we're talking about new school slang historians,
Are we? Is that what we're talking about?
was Beast Wars the invention of the term beast mode?
Pretty sure.
People like, yo, I'm about to go beast mode. Well,
It
I'm
must
fucking...
be. It must be.
Yeah, right? Because I'm like,
Has to
oh my
be.
god, there's like, what else would it have been?
Yeah.
Exactly. And you know
Yeah.
what?
Why else would you say that?
I went back in time and had this conversation with someone and said, yo, let's crack some Transformers Beast Wars and see what's up. And we started watching some, and I don't think it's quite fair to say the animation holds up. It doesn't not hold up,
Right.
but what they did with it was so amazingly sick. Like, Megatron's... Megatron was a T-Rex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he would transform, he would have the T-Rex head as one hand and like a drill fist, the tail as his other hand.
That's pretty sick.
And
pretty
it's
metal.
just so sick.
That's like a Power Rangers Megazord
In one.
in one, pretty much. Yeah.
Spin out and there's fucking... He's about to hit you with the head of a T-Rex.
See, definitely cool, and I remember that. But the only other like story thing I remember from Beast Wars was that there was a spider, and I think it was a hawk, and the hawk wanted to bang the spider, and that was like the recurring story throughout.
But that's just like real life, bro.
Yeah, it's just the animal
That's-
kingdom
that's-
at work.
Yeah. Planet. I think I saw that episode of Planet Earth.
All animals interbreed because it's animals and humans is basically how nature is divvied up. So
Yeah.
Yeah, normalized bestiality. Normalized bestiality.
That's what I thought
How
Beast
did-
Mode came from originally.
how do you think a platypus came to be, man?
Platypus.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
beast mode is short for bestiality mode.
No. Party, don't make that the title.
All right, peace
Oh,
out,
you
boys.
know that's the
Peace out,
title.
boys. I'm
No,
finna go
it's not.
bestiality mode.
It's not the title, dude.
We'll get canceled after the first episode gets released.
Yeah, we let party from one fucking podcast.
It's just about bestiality the entire time.
Gross.
Oh
on
my
that
God.
on that platypus shit though, like
Right.
it's a duck and a beaver, right? That's how it happened.
And it also has like a poisonous like stinger, I think.
Oh, really?
No, I
It's
don't-
poisonous.
No, but Jaron, I don't think a duck mated with a beaver and it birthed a platypus.
Other way around.
Oh, right. No, that's
I don't
Yeah.
think that's possible.
I don't know, man. I've seen some weird shit.
But isn't it like scaly? Wouldn't it have kind of feathers?
Yeah.
Or am I off the mark here?
A platypus?
Platypus.
I don't think they have
like
feathers.
fur.
They're like
It's
it's
fur.
furry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like beaver, like the oil.
Well, that's how
kind
the
of
liger was born, right?
Right.
A
that's
liger
how the
is
lumen
a
was
lion
born.
tiger.
thing. Yeah, but that's a
And when
little
that-
bit closer than a duck and a beaver. Like,
And when
They
the,
both live in
yeah.
water.
Yeah, duh. They're both
And when
water
the
types.
Anunnaki came down from the heavens and stole the women from the furthest tribe and created the human super race that used fire, Leviticus 2:29, and decided to burn it back, humanity was born. The unseen gap, the gods of the gap, the Anunnaki themselves gave
no.
birth to us all.
Okay, so do you guys remember like a few episodes ago when we thought Powys was in danger of joining a cult? I think
my.
it happened.
Okay, can I tell the story of when Powys got really into conspiracy theories? Because
Yeah,
when
of course you can.
when you talk about Anunnaki, I think of a time where I showed up to Powys' house with my brother. We're hanging out.
Oh my god.
And Powys takes off his snapback, and it's literally lined with foil on the inside
full foil hat.
because he was worried about radiation.
Do I get to defend myself or no?
Oh, well, we should lambast you a little bit more. I think the highest I've ever seen Powys, conspiracy related. For some reason, I remember Ryan telling it to me, but I think that might have just been because we've done the impression so many times. But it was just Hiroshima, Fukushima. Who is this Shima and what does he know?
No, that was my joke. The suffix of Shima.
Yeah, dude.
It all ties
Just
together.
fucking lost it.
Free
Who is
Shima.
this Shima? And
What does he
does he
know?
Shima was wrongly convicted.
Guys, it's Sheila.
No, that was just me making fun of Powys.
Oh, we're back to Sheila already.
You're
Oh my
a
god.
Shima.
Okay, please defend yourself on that tinfoil
Please defend
hat.
myself. Please defend myself. All right. In the appendix, let's just say this. Okay, rewind to my conspiracy era. What was going on? I was loading up 2 docs a day.
Well, your conspiracy era like 5 minutes ago on the pod, or
I mean, am I off it, or have I just kind of like put that baby's face in the pillow for 5 minutes?
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Anyway, there was a documentary called Resonance Beings of Frequency. And I suggest you watch it. That talked about, what happened to the bees, dude? How come the bees can't get back to their...
Not the bees.
How come they can't get back to their hives? I'll tell you why. Last name phone. First name cell. Dude, these things are little beefkers that absolutely damage
Your iPhone literally fucked a bee before
inner
it made its way into
compass.
your pocket.
Anyway, this doc was all about how cell phones freaking mess with the waves, the interconnectic energy that allows bees to find their way
man.
home, and our cell towers having horrible issues. And the one bulletproof thing, even these wacky docs have one bulletproof thing, but it's like, check out your iPhone's user manual. It says, keep your phone 1.5 inches away from you at all times.
1.5 inches from all bees at all times.
From you! And back in the day, I don't know if you remember this, I don't know if you guys had old people in your lives back in the day, but my parents are a little bit older, so are my grandparents. God rest them! And when I invented... No, not when I invented Wi-Fi. When I installed Wi-Fi... When I installed Wi-Fi,
Powys HJ, the inventor of Wi-Fi.
when we were installing Wi-Fi, it was like
I am the bringer of Wi-Fi.
If anybody knows what's going on the inside of this shit, it's me.
Tesla and I got together and invented Wi-Fi. No,
You see this right here? You see this right here? USB-C stands for US Bees. See you later.
rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Rest in bees.
Rest in bees.
Rest in peace. But yeah, in the Wi-Fi manuals, it was like, just keep the router away from someone who has a pacemaker because this could like maybe F with their ticker a little bit. So just keep that away. So
Grandpa's loading Pornhub on his pacemaker.
I was like, I had my iPod Touch, like giving Granddad a hug, like, maybe I shouldn't have this close to your heart. I'm pretty sure it can palpitate your So I basically wanted to rebound stuff away from my El Domo, and so I lined the hat with some tinfoil, dog. I'm not even ashamed at all. Not even 1/10.
I just think it was just hilarious that that's the meme. It's literally
Any
the
conspiracy heads and TriHards hold me down. Keep me away from this.
But
freaking...
dude, that's like the least threatening. That's the least threatening conspiracy that I was with. Like, like cell phones are gonna kill bees. I want bees to like George Soros is behind the bees disappearing because he's building a colony on Mars.
Okay,
like, give me something deep, some rich.
Okay, no, we'll go one level up. How about
Okay.
what on earth are they spraying a doc about chemtrails?
So yeah, this is better. Chemtrails I'm down for.
The
Please continue.
towns where the people are freaking like, bro, this is not even freaking exhaust. This shit falls on the trees. These trees were bulletproof before. Now watch this. They like pinch the bark and the fucking whole 1,000-year-old palm tree will fall the frog down. Okay?
I like the implication here that the trees were bulletproof, as if people were just...
And then one day, it's just, what happened?
I used to load magazine after magazine into these trees.
Have you ever shot a tree?
Then the chemtrails.
Have you ever shot a tree? What are some pretty out there ones? Oh, come on, pal. Get into that index.
While he's thinking, some of the documentaries Pow showed me were like really low quality YouTube ones about crop circles.
I'm sure a lot of them were low quality YouTube docs.
Crop circles.
I think we
Crop
should stop
circles?
calling those docs.
They're not dogs. It's just a guy on YouTube who.
Okay, have some respect, boys. We're joking around and it's all good, but
It's like fan.
those films,
Yeah.
Crop Circles, Hyperspace Gateways, is to documentaries what TriHards is to frickin' television, all right?
I mean, I'll take
completely like not the same thing at all.
that. Yeah.
Guys got together. They made an incredible piece of art. Listen, I'll say that some, listen, baby. I'll say that some crop circles were made. I'll say that humans may have made a couple crop circles, but some of those mathematical vectors were just so good. They were just so perfect that I can't help but think that there was an extraterrestrial being that was helping those things.
All they wanted to do was fuck with our corn.
Yeah.
They wanted to give us the math. They wanted to show us vector energy, limitless fusion power, thorine, everything that could give our life power from the sun instead of raping the undercrust as much as we possibly could. No. Oh, sorry, Jared, what'd you say, pyramids? Well, how about this?
The aliens built the pyramids
I feel like
so that Bill Gates could sell us this vaccine.
like ancient aliens, like you guys came at me when I wasn't brushed up on my stuff. I could do a redacted app next app, but it's never gonna unclean. It's never gonna.
The
clean.
FBI is gonna censor all of this
not to
shit.
redact, just to say it properly, because
The
I used to
FBI
be
has
really
entered
up
the
on the
pod.
pyramids. So if you think about the pyramids in Giza being large batteries, that.
Yeah, that's a big if.
Okay, let's take. I'm going to take that jump.
So let's
We'll
just
go.
say
We'll go.
that in Vancouver, BC,
That's a given. That's a given.
where we're from, we get our power from hydroelectric dams.
Okay.
The rushing of water through something that can give us electricity. A dam.
Right.
Many years ago, the River Nile passed underneath the pyramids before it was displaced over these thousands of years. And underneath the pyramids are aquifers that when water passes through it, power is generated. And before the linoleum coating was cracked on the outside of the pyramids, they acted as a power battery that gave almost unlimited energy to the people of Egypt. And that's where I stand.
So
I can get
Okay.
behind that.
So,
No,
so
I love
they built enormous stone structures over top of one of the biggest rivers in the world, and then moved the river afterwards, even though it gave them unlimited power.
The river moved naturally,
The river
bro.
moved
Sorry,
naturally.
Earth doesn't stay the same for 10,000 years, right? Listen, Earth evolves, and guess what? At the right time, the 3 great pyramids in Giza will be perfectly underneath Orion's belt, and we can sing to the stars. Okay, I don't want to be fucking sensationalist from Attack on Titan season 1, but there's stuff to look into, man. There's metaphysical beauty in there. I know I've kind of set conspiracy theorists back, like a few thousand years. I mean,
Well, we put you on the spot. You're riffing.
this is a sick book. Mysteries of the Ancient World. You know, oh shit. Easter Island was legit. Ignore the fact that I got it for 99 cents at a budget bin. But Mysteries of the Ancient World. Can I get to some of my favorite pagos here? Anything on Cropley's? Oh god, dude, this says it all.
Statues, bro.
Sure does.
Egypt was black.
Yeah.
one takeaway that I did get from one of these alien docs that I watched with Pow back in the day. They brought up a question that was like, if aliens were to come down, like what was one of the crop circles that they were showing, they were like, this is a message that from another race of aliens, don't trust the first ones that come, or something like that. Because they might not all be malevolent. They might, or benevolent.
This is for the people that aren't listening. This is the graph of the inside of the pyramids. It's not just like, yo, let's all live in here. It's actually a freaking battery, bro.
Okay.
And yeah.
Actually, you know what? They used that in the advertising
a
campaign
picture
for
of
Duracell. And the Energizer buddy is actually, he's from Egypt.
And how about the water weathering on the Sphinx? on the side of the Sphinx.
You mean the 1,000-year-old stone structure in the middle of the desert?
Yeah, the 1,000-year-old stone structure
More
in a desert that hasn't seen rainfall of that magnitude in over 12,000 millennia.
I wonder how else a structure like that could degrade over thousands of years.
Yeah, I wonder too. It's water, bro. Talk to John Anthony West. Okay?
He's dead, isn't he?
No, Zahi Hawass is dead.
Well, I'm pretty sure John Anthony West is dead too.
Rest in peace. There's also the Reader's Digest Book of Facts. That was a National Geographic book that I just showed, Rye. This is Reader's Digest. I don't know if you trust them or not. But if you snap, this is how carbon dating works, Rye. I don't know if you can read books.
Jeez. All right, this is.
Now I'm shaddying the world.
Powys is on one right now.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. To all my conspiracy brothers and sisters out there, not conspiracy fact.
I was going to say, you're not doing yourself any favors by referring to it yourself as conspiracies.
No, I'm not. Where is this?
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead, you talk.
I'm in now.
I'm floored, honestly.
No, I believe that there's legit stuff definitely that we can't explain, but I also like seeing recent history, the way it's unfolded, like the last year and the stuff that's been coming out. I feel like there's a lot of shit where it's just like the simplest explanation is sometimes just the case. The one that floored me the most, and to make the pod just a little bit darker, was the whole Epstein doc. Right. What Epstein was doing, and that's like one of the more grander conspiracies of modern times is the pedophile ring of the elite.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, like, how are they doing this? Like, there's going to be so many layers and you're paying off so many people. And it's as simple as like, hey, I want a massage. And then the girl going, no. And it's just like, okay, how about I give you $200 and you get a friend to give me a massage? And it's just like, and that worked. And it was like hundreds of people. And I'm sure there's still shit tons of money changing hands. But for some reason, like when I first heard of the Black Book and Epstein and fucking Prince Philip or whatever, I was ready for Andrew. I was waiting for like, all right, fucking the CIA's involved and they're covering all these tracks and they're like deleting phone messages and I'm sure there's a layer of that, but it's not nearly as holy shit, like this dude was little fingering all these diddles, you know? It wasn't quite as elaborate. It just was like, oh, he's doing bad things and turns out everyone looks the other way. It's like the bystander effect, but just in every other aspect of life, which is pretty brutal.
I was like, hey, Jeff, you got any girls for me this weekend, baby? I got something to do. Like this Monica girl, she's got a big mouth. I need something a little more secluded. You got an island or something? That'd be great for me to come visit, buddy. Thanks.
Yeah, I think the issue with like the fucking tinfoil conspiracies on YouTube is that they delegitimize ones like the Epsteins or ones that might have some legitimacy.
Right, but like. Some legitimacy doesn't justify like the crazy extent people go to about all this stuff.
I'm not saying that's the case. I'm saying that there are legitimate like crazy things that are happening, and sometimes the stories that we're given aren't true necessarily.
Well, yeah, but like these kinds of things, they're not going to be discovered by a game of telephone of people telling each other stories about things, right? Like it's if there's big things like this going on, it's going to be large investigative bodies that figure this out. Not,
okay, well, sometimes it has to be a game of telephone, bro. Sometimes the CIA is going to Epstein's mansion too, bruh. All right. Sometimes you gotta dig in the crates to find a good song. Sometimes you gotta dig in YouTube to find a good freaking conspiracy fact.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No, dude.
I think Powys might have something there. I think I watched something called The Disclosure Project, which was one of those.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, like it was like a 53 part. Like it was the peak. I'm gonna get baked. I'm gonna sit down and we're just gonna watch all of these conspiracies. And definitely, it was one too where I feel like they linked every single one, like lizard people to Hollow Earth to like it was like this domino of conspiracies.
Hollow Earth is called Agartha, by the way. Go on.
Oh fucking yes, sir. The one that stuck with me though was the politicians going to the island for the Owl of Moloch. Like that, and the pictures and stuff, like the worshipping of pagan gods is definitely my favorite thing that I've seen and been like, okay, I can buy it. I don't know why. Why they'd be doing this. Like,
so,
what power is coming from
I did a couple of research papers on conspiracy theories and why they spread when I was in school, and a lot of the research was saying that for a lot of people, belief in there being a grand conspiracy is a lot more of a convenient explanation for why things are so fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of being like, oh yeah, the way that the system is set up is set to keep some people down and prop some people up.
Yeah.
You know, keep the wealthy wealthy and the poor poor. That's really what it boils down to with a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more convenient and a lot more people. There's a lot of people want to have the fucking scoop. They're like, I know something that you don't know.
Yeah.
You guys just don't see it. And like a little bit of this is like a lot of the conspiracies with something like 9/11 or like Sandy Hook and stuff like that.
We live in a like it's the establishment's like cried wolf, right? Like we know the Iran Contra stuff that came out. Like 9/11 is one even where you bring it up and it's like, oh, is this conspiracy? Like it's an inside job. We all know this. But beyond that, like looking back even 30 years like past, like into the past, and you look at what happened with Iran Contra, which is literally like we're gonna sell drugs to get so we can fund a war, and we're gonna funnel drugs back into the country, like. That I'm sure there were conspiracies like involving that, right? But after that, how do you trust the government?
100%,
right?
100%.
They give you a fat paycheck.
Yeah. Well, you forget about it. You normalize it, and then you're back to normal. But
that's the tricky part.
Go ahead.
Because the big conspiracies, quote unquote, that are involved with like going into these wars and stuff like that come out later.
Lusitania.
Misdirections, like all of these kind of like inciting incidents that like kind of trick the people into going to war, and then after they're already in it or have come out of it and spent a lot of money and a lot of lives, it's like, oh yeah, this was actually started on a false pretense. And then it makes it easy to think that COVID is a fucking pandemic, because then you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, but like I mean, not that I think that this would be an argument you would make, but like that's such a weird false equivalency to draw, because these inciting incidents that get nations into war is because they have a vested interest in wanting to be in that war. They have something to gain from being in that war. There's absolutely nothing to gain from a fucking pandemic except for other weird convoluted shit people have thought up. Same with like all these sorts of like reptilian overlord bullshit. It's like it's just a fucking Mad Lib.
I agree with you, Ryan, but also on that note with what you just said, isn't there like the stat we're seeing like pretty consistently now, which is like the top, like the wealthiest people in the world got like significantly wealthier.
Yeah, because they were buying stocks on the cheap as everything crashed.
And like all of a sudden we can't film TriHards, but everyone else can film because they get freaking COVID.
Oh no, not that. Like that's one thing. I mean, like Bezos is worth, and like I don't want to just say stats without having facts, but I've seen the other episodes. I know we're allowed to do that. No, like I think like the top like fucking 1% got like 30% wealthier or some shit true. Like that. So like literally people did get wealthier from the shutdowns and the way it was handled. I think like this is a legitimate pandemic. Also, like we live on a planet that, you know, goes through extinction events and has been doing that fucking every 100 years. Like we're still going through the largest mass extinction event right now anyway. It's just not for us, so we're okay with it, right? Like some people are sick now. That's the general feel.
So a very out there conspiracy theory is the concept of adrenochrome.
Never even heard of it.
Oh, this is like the fucking eating the essence of children or whatever, isn't it?
They scare and torture people and take their blood, their adrenalized blood, and then inject it into themselves and get fucking jazzed, bro. And sometimes conspiracies will be made into like theatrical things so that people can be like, dude, that's a movie, that's not a conspiracy. And adrenochrome was made into Jim Henson's Dark Crystal, where the Skeksis want to take the essence of the Gelflings. We need more essence. And this tree in the background is on a purple crystal that's a tribute to the Dark Crystal. So adrenochrome might be a bit far, but then there's this show that Bots likes. I forget what it's called. What's that funny show? It's about Silicon Valley. Have any of you guys heard about
Silicon Valley?
Is it called Silicon Valley? Yeah. Anyway, so in Silicon Valley...
God, fuck, what's the name of the cat from Garfield?
They talk about having blood boys. And like in Silicon Valley, like these old people are like losing their steam, but they have like young people who they're like, yo, I need to take your blood and like transfuse it so I can like work as hard as you. I need your young blood and your young shit.
Yeah, but that's a meme.
It's reality.
I don't know.
Bro.
They've done
They
like
do
I've
it
seen
in Silicon Valley for real.
I've seen the test. No, I've seen like I've seen the headlines of the test where they did that with mice, where they had like blood from like new younger mice and put it into older mice.
But like,
We're not
And
that different,
just
bro.
like how
It's a leap to go
pedophilia
from-
happens in the trailer park, all due respect to trailer park people, it probably happens at the global elite on a more bougie level. Just how Silicon Valley can take some blood from an intern. Those boys
can they though? If they
fucking-
did it in mice, who's saying that they're doing it in humans? That's
Vince
such
McMahon 2020. Have you
Dude,
seen
That's
it?
such a
Vince McMahon.
leap. That's such a
No.
huge leap to make.
Vince McMahon is
Back me
just
up in the
shooting
comments,
up.
yo.
The existence,
McMahon-
the existence of pedophilia does not dictate the existence of fucking vampires, dude.
But the existence of vampires dictates the existence of vampires, bro. It's real. Blood boys are not fake. That's
You're quoting a
fact.
fucking fictional television show
Where
and
do
it
they get
studies
their
in
ideas?
mice.
Where did they get their-
Kelsey, where are you? Kelsey, can you look this
This
up?
just in, everything on TriHards is
Okay, you
true
guys
and
keep
real.
talking. I'm looking up Blood Boy right now.
Oh
No,
my
dude.
God.
No, you don't have a viable source for this.
Blood Boy meaning.
Blood Boy. Urban
Yes,
Dictionary.
the Blood Boy on Silicon Valley is actually a thing.
Oh,
From
yeah,
fansided.com. This is legit.
Okay, can we go back to the screen, please?
Well, it turns out that Gavin's literally buying blood. Okay, whatever. Anyway.
That was a lot of leaps to make, and that's part of the problem with conspiracy
Yeah.
theories. Is so many false equivalencies.
Yeah, there's like, yeah, there's like
this.
one thing
They
you didn't
don't-
know was going on, and then suddenly fucking lizards are in control of the world.
This isn't connected. Blood Boy is like pretty like hook, line, sinker.
Yeah, I don't know.
Adrenochrome, I don't know, but Blood Boys?
Isn't that literally what you just said?
But adrenochrome is when they like torture the person before to adrenalize their blood. And then they have the adrenaline blood and then they kill them and then it's like, oh yeah, their blood was fucking popping before they died. Yeah. But Blood Boys are just like, oh, you're young, you're cool. Go for a run and then I'll take your blood. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
There's weird things that happen in the world, guys.
Sure.
I
Sorry.
believe it.
It's not just
There is
go to
weird
work,
things that
get
happen
your
in the
check,
world.
make your web series, all right?
so are you? Is it healthy to walk around thinking that everything is fucking crazy and nothing that you believe is real or nothing that you see is real? Everything is a conspiracy.
I'm surprised.
Everything that is fucked up is happening, and we're just too dumb to see it.
Right.
It's taken us this long to do a Thrones reference,
We're due.
but let me say,
It's been a couple ads.
chaos is a ladder, baby. That's where I stand.
So this has all been funded by Big Ladder.
This podcast of
Trying to
fucking
bring
chaos.
I'm down. I'm here for it. I'm here for
It
it.
was aotic. Our first one with a guest, and we went absolutely aos throat.
I'm down.
For
I'm down
sure.
with it.
I didn't really know what we were going to talk about. How I was going to go. I was like, oh, are we just going to talk about the show? And turns out, no, it's a lot of conspiracies. We just
Right.
went all in on conspiracy theories.
Right. Well, we should do a little talk about the show because I know we're wrapping up. Please watch TriHards episode 2. It's coming out in a week. It's
Watch
gonna be
episode
so-
1 as well. It's out now.
Watch episode 1 as well. Are we allowed to say what episode 2 is?
I would not.
Well, what's it like generally?
I
Like,
mean, we can. I'm
what's
not
it?
as worried
What's it
about
kind of about?
It's about Life is Pro Wrestling.
Oh, episode
is,
2
yeah.
is sick. Episode 2 is absolutely sick. Episode 1 was dope. You guys know
It was
we
one of
liked
our
it.
first.
It's the first one we filmed that we're actually putting out.
Yeah.
Wow, episode 1 is great. It's a dense time. If I could sum it up in one word, it would be yes, which is pure whole. Oh, dude, stoked. Well, yeah, check out episode 2. It's gonna be a great time. We,
episode
you know, Inkwell Nomad. Not sure what he's going by these days.
Ink Mad.
Yeah, I'm not even on there. It's a yeah.
Oh,
Well, we'll get a name. That's the other thing. It's like, okay, yeah, I have to be on Instagram more. I hate it, but we'll do it. We'll do it. I like the
works.
memes,
Send
boys.
the minions out, like.
Oh, that's what we're doing. I told Ryan to go hard on the memes.
The
I
meme
encourage
that
you
was.
guys to
I
do the
laughed
same.
so hard. Ryan was like,
We're a
"Yeah,
meme page. We're a meme
yeah.
show. We're a meme page. Go
I'm
hard.
do it, I'll do
so
it.
down. I'm so down.
hard.
Ryan's got that dankness.
But on a more professional note, it's been freaking awesome working on the show. It's like the best part about it, hands down. Regardless if the show ever ever came out was just that we got to hang out pretty much like every week, super
Yeah.
consistently during all of this,
So
and
sick.
that's something that I know I'm going to take away. Even the podcast, man, like to get a little sentimental. When we first started recording this, I was like, fuck, like I wish I had this in March when we first had that really big shutdown. And we just like, you didn't know when we were going to see each other. Like we didn't have a show. So I didn't have a reason to just like hang out with Ryan or Jaron for like a couple hours. And if it's work, it's like, okay, there's a purpose behind it. It's a little harder to do it without that purpose. And now I'm like, oh, sweet. I've got like more than 20 hours of you guys just talking, and sometimes throwing on one of those pods is just like, oh shit, it's like you're hanging out with your friends again. So that's been like one of the best parts that I've taken away from it. And obviously we've refined our craft, but I'm super blessed to be working with like all these talented people and everyone on the Nomad team. It's like we were talking about what our even set goals are, and I'm just like, oh, I just want to keep amassing these hyper talented people around me, and hopefully they'll get me to where I want to go. But I feel super lucky to have all this talent around me, guys. And you're obviously, the TriHards are a big part of it, the three of you. So thank you for doing this, guys.
Mutually beneficial relationship.
Yeah, it's working out, no doubt.
It's put me on a path that I'm very, very grateful to be on. I've been thinking a lot about like the people that have helped me along the way as I've been on this path, and there's been a lot of people, and like TriHards been a big part of it. And Par kind of like had to do a little convincing in the beginning.
I had to do a sell, man.
He had to sell me. He had to sell me because I wasn't fully ready to commit to it.
I had
I
to
was
sell
ready to
Powys.
tap,
I think
bro.
Ryan took the least selling. Ryan was like on board.
I just
ready
wasn't.
to
I wasn't
tap.
confident in my. I wasn't. I didn't have a lot of belief in my ability to pull it off, and I feel like this has brought it out of me in a lot of ways. And now I'm stoked to just keep the ball rolling. Really.
I was scared it was going to just
sure.
take up too much of my time and wasn't going to be able to give it the full respect.
right.
And then actually, my fear was completely whacked because it did take up way too much time. It did end up being my number one priority in my life.
We eased you into it, though, dude. We eased you into
dude,
it.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. And yeah, no, it was like thinking back, like I remember one of the first, like maybe the first rough cuts we saw, I was just like, wow, I'm so fucking glad that I got wooed into this shit because this is fucking special. Sorry.
You know what? We're hyping up the next episode. I think that was the episode where I showed you that rough cut, and you were like, especially because of the content, like we were talking wrestling, and you were like, if I saw anyone else in that, I would have been pissed. And I was like, awesome. Awesome. That's exactly what we were going for. So, and they're going to see it and they're going to be like, yeah, only Powys could have done that. So,
Yeah.
True.
We're proud. We're proud to be the TriHards. So
Proud
check out the
boys.
stuff.
TriHards.
they're terrorists
bro.
now, dude.
Yeah.
They're terrorists. Can't do that.
Shout out to Jag Meat, yo.
straight
Beyond
up.
Meat done, Shuffle Meat done, Jag Meat top.
Let's go.
Yo, I'm gonna vote Jag Meat, son.
Beyond Meat, Jag Meat.
Gun store, liquor store, Jag Meat. Where the fuck you taking me? Yo, shouts to Jag Meat, bro.
Yeah, he needs it. He needs it.
Shouts to Jag, dude.
Respect.
All right. Pod ended, boys.
Pod endeth.
Bye.
Thanks, Bar. Sup?
Been a slice of pie, cake, pizza, pie, cake, pizza, pie, cake, pizza, pie, cake, pizza, pie, cake, pizza.